Paul Merson's career was wasted by addictions, booze, cocaine, gambling. The image of Arsenal's magic man passed out in front of bottles tells the story everyone thinks they know. But what if the real tragedy isn't his fall, but how he's rebuilding his life one day at a time? Paul Merson was pure magic at Arsenal. The attacking midfielder joined the Gunners as an apprentice in 1984. He made his senior debut in 1986 and quickly became the heart of George Graham's team. Merson helped Arsenal win 2 First Division titles in 1988-89 and 1990-91. He scored the opening goal in the 1993 League Cup final. The FA Cup, League Cup and UEFA Cup Winners' Cup all came his way. 423 appearances and 99 goals across all competitions. England called him up 21 times. He debuted in 1991 and played in the 1992 European Championships. The PFA Young Player of the Year award came in 1989. Everyone loved watching him play, but behind the magic, something dark was growing. November 1994 changed everything. Merson publicly admitted his addictions to alcohol, cocaine and gambling. The confession shocked football. Arsenal's creative genius was battling demons nobody saw coming. The Football Association acted quickly. They arranged a 3-month rehabilitation program. Merson had to face his problems or lose his career. He returned to Arsenal in February 1995. Bruce Rioch and Arsene Wenger both kept him in the first team. On the pitch, he looked normal. Off it, his first marriage crumbled under the weight of his recovery from drug addiction and alcoholism. The forced treatment felt wrong to him. Years later, Merson would say these early treatments never helped because people made him go in. The club made him go in. The FA made him go in. His heart wasn't in it. A decade passed. In February 2004, Merson was player-manager at Walsall when his gambling addiction took over again. This time, he chose to get help. The Professional Footballers Association paid for him to enter the Sierra Tucson Clinic in Arizona. His absence hurt Walsall badly. The team slipped from mid-table into the relegation zone. When Merson returned, reports emerged of drinking and gambling relapses. His marriage faced more difficulties. The club struggled with poor results. Walsall sacked him in February 2006. The gambling was the worst part. Merson has revealed he lost £7 million over 3 decades. He would race off the pitch at half-time to check his betting results. The compulsion was so strong, he thought about breaking his own fingers to stop himself calling bookmakers. He hated being in his own skin during his playing career. Real bad panic attacks hit him regularly. The depression was crushing. October 2011 brought more shame. Merson crashed his car on the M40 motorway after drinking. Police arrested him for drink driving. The incident showed his alcohol addiction still controlled him, years after his initial confession and rehabilitation efforts. During the COVID-19 lockdowns, he gambled away £160,000 that was meant as a deposit for a family home. He bet it all on table tennis matches. The addiction never truly left him. Around 2019, Merson hit his absolute lowest point. He wanted to kill himself. He couldn't see a way out. The inner turmoil was overwhelming. Only when gambling left him with nothing did he feel any relief. ITV's Harry's Heroes changed everything in 2019. The documentary series about former England players gave Merson a platform to speak openly about his struggles. Viewers praised his candid discussions about substance abuse and gambling. For the first time, Merson spoke honestly about his battles on national television. He credits the show with saving his life. Before Harry's Heroes, he was drinking at least 35 pints a week and gambling constantly. The show prompted him to get clean himself. This was different from previous attempts. Nobody forced him. He made the decision alone. In the second series, Harry's Heroes, Euro having a laugh, Merson confided in his former Arsenal teammate David Seaman. He told David about attending Alcoholics Anonymous meetings voluntarily. He even went to English-speaking sessions in Paris during filming breaks. This time, he engaged with AA open-hearted and listened. The difference was huge. Merson began using his platform for good. He appeared on Good Morning Britain and Sky Sports programmes like The Football Show and The Debate. Mental Health Awareness Week became important to him. He shared practical coping tools and insights. The Football Association's Heads Up campaign welcomed his voice. Public health. England's Every Mind Matters campaign did too. FA Cup kickoffs were delayed by a minute to encourage viewers to think about their mental well-being. He contributed to the Heroes Have Heroes series, supporting the Jason Robinson Foundation. His reach in mental health advocacy kept growing. Merson's memoir, Hooked, Addiction and the Long Road to Recovery, became a cornerstone of his advocacy. The book charts his 3-decade battle with alcohol, drugs and gambling. Critics call it brutally honest and unflinching. The book aims to kickstart a national conversation about addiction, depression and the damage they cause. Merson explains addiction in personal yet accessible terms, particularly compulsive gambling. His core message runs throughout. The addiction is not in the drink or the bet or the drug. The addiction is in my head. It's an inside job. Merson remembers the old dressing room culture. Any admission of mental health vulnerability would have meant a difficult time. Players were reluctant to open their mouths about such issues. He argues passionately that if a struggling player sought help, it would put 30% on their game. This reframes mental health support as a performance enhancer, not a weakness. His advocacy, alongside campaigns like the FA's Heads Up initiative, has helped create change. Players now discuss mental health issues more openly in professional football. Merson also explains unique challenges footballers face. The intense high from playing creates problems. The thud of a come-down hits hard when careers end. Many use addiction as a filler to cope with losing their identity and adrenaline. Merson consistently frames addiction as an illness or disease, not a personal failing. He states clearly, "I've accepted that I have an illness. I have a mental illness." He highlights a cruel, double standard. Other illnesses get sympathy. Addiction gets judgment and condemnation. Merson defines addiction as a compulsion. Once he starts, he becomes powerless over it. It controls his life. This aligns with medical understanding of addiction as a brain disorder, not weak willpower. His most frequent advice for struggling people is simple: talk. Nothing ever gets better if you don't talk. Talking takes the power out of addiction's grip. He tells people not to feel embarrassed about asking for help. Never worry about what people think. In his past, he wouldn't answer calls from people trying to help. Now, he actively reaches out when feeling down. Merson shares tangible tools for managing difficult days. Ring people when struggling. Remember that challenging feelings will pass. These become key coping mechanisms. He advocates deep self-assessment. Explore why you feel the urge to drink or gamble. He links these compulsions to insecurity and ego. Practical strategies include not keeping alcohol at home. Having to travel to an off-license provides 5 or 10 minutes of open space for reflection. Often the urge passes in that time. His consistent attendance at AA meetings remains vital. This ongoing support mechanism works because he chooses it freely. Merson's openness on Harry's Heroes received widespread praise from viewers. The Mirror credited the show with saving his life and inspiring countless others. His Guardian article about suicidal thoughts and accepting addiction as illness drew numerous thank you messages. However, not everyone responds positively. Online discussions reveal mixed reactions. Some view his continued punditry role as existing solely out of pity. Others criticise his analytical abilities harshly. Sky Bet faced criticism for featuring Merson in advertising campaigns despite his gambling issues. This highlights complex ethical questions about addiction, advocacy, and commercial endorsements. Merson's ongoing battle with gambling links directly to online accessibility via smartphone apps. His story illustrates how digital platforms intensify addictive behaviours. The criticism of Sky Bet's advertising choices underscores industry responsibility. Companies profiting from potentially addictive activities face questions about ethical marketing and public health impact. Merson's experiences provide a contemporary view of addiction in the digital age. His narrative prompts broader questions about regulation and societal responsibility. As of early 2024, Merson announced being clean and sober from alcohol and drugs for 5 years. His battle with gambling remains a lifelong challenge, but progress continues. He appeared on BBC's Strictly Come Dancing in 2023, using the platform to inspire others. He emphasized that addiction takes you away from everything, but recovery empowers you to go out and do something meaningful. Merson continues as a Sky Sports pundit and sought-after public speaker. His advocacy work keeps growing. He demonstrates that recovery allows people to rebuild and contribute positively. Paul Merson's journey proves that recovery is possible, even from the deepest addiction. His willingness to share his darkest moments helps others feel less alone. He consistently emphasizes that addiction affects anybody, regardless of profession, status, or background. This universal message breaks down barriers and creates empathy. By framing addiction as a disease requiring treatment rather than judgment, Merson challenges harmful stigma. His advocacy creates space for others to seek help without shame. The man who once hated being in his own skin now uses his voice to help others find hope. That transformation from the depths of addiction to becoming a beacon for recovery shows the power of honest storytelling and community support. Paul Merson's life isn't sad anymore. It's proof that even the most broken people can heal and help others do the same.